Hey everyone. I haven't really done my version of what's bullshit or anything. And we all know that the You Know What's Bullshit came from James Rolfe, otherwise known as the Angry Video Game Nerd. And the reason I want to mention this now is because I want to talk to you about what's really bullshit. Now, I'm not going to name anything or name anybody or anything, if you will, in this video, but you'll get the idea of where I'm coming from and who I'm talking about. Now, as we know, this past year has been a very unique year when it comes to video, when it comes to uploading things on certain sites. Either it's videos, pictures, music, whatever. And that this past year, a certain music labels, if you will, that will not be named, as I said, I'm not going to name anybody, but certain music labels have basically ended their partnerships with certain uploading sites. And because of this, there are certain people out there like myself and like others who are creative in either making what is known as fan vids, comic vids, or fan art vids, or character tribute vids, or whatever you want to call them, and yet we cannot upload, and yet when we upload them to these sites that we're on, we get a little notice saying it's either been disabled, or rejected. And we're given an option of either using something else, another kind of bit of music, or deleting it. Well, some of us, and I've done this before, will choose to keep it on there under another piece of music. Well, others, and even I've done this, will decide just to delete it if we can't have it on there. Now you might ask yourself, well, what's bullshit about that, even though it is bullshit? Well, how about the fact that with certain music labels, when they take out your music that you use, that same music or same song is still on said certain uploading sites and being used by other people. Now I'm not trying to blame those people that have those up there and are lucky enough to have them. I'm just saying, why is it so ironic that they end up keeping the music on there, and yet others have it taken off? I mean, because, from what, because I can understand maybe if they were lucky enough and they got skipped over, but don't think your luck's not going to run out. Do you see? That's the thing, because sooner or later, those people may end up getting the same thing we did. They may end up trying to play the video or the picture thing or whatever with the music, and it's going to be disabled. Now you might say to yourself, well, what's more bullshit about that? Well, here's what I find is bullshit. Why can't they just realize that sometimes the music that's used by people in these uploading sites, why can't the musical labels realize that the artists that sing these songs are part of other record labels? I mean, there are some people that are, some artists that are signed with record labels that have deals with these uploading sites, and yet because they performed a song on the other label site, on an album that is published by the music label that is basically not associated or broken the partnership off with the uploading site, why can't that person have that song put on there instead of having it disabled? You see, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I wonder in my mind, like what's really going on. Because to me, that's complete bullshit. Excuse my language, but I think it's complete bullshit. I mean, I can understand if the artist is associated with said music label that's broken off the partnership with said uploading site. But I don't understand how you can have control over an artist singing a song when that artist is not associated with you. It's not even signed to you. Unless you own the rights to the song, that's entirely different. But then again, there are certain artists who are signed with certain labels that are associated and partnered with certain uploading sites, And yet, when they sing their version of the song, you get something that says a link to another, to basically a music store, site. You get a link, like a little thing at the bottom that says, a music that has the name of a certain a music store, to where you click on it and you can download the song when you purchase it. I don't get it. I mean, to me, it's complete BS. I mean, there have been songs that I have used that are by artists that, even though they're on an album that was done by a certain music label that is not associated with a certain uploading site, and yet the artist is associated with the music site that is. I mean, it's complete bullshit. I mean, it's complete BS. It's confusing. It drives people crazy. And why? Because when you go search on certain uploading sites for that song to see if it's still up, you will find very few people that still have that song on there. And it blows people's mind. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, Brian, what are you talking about? Well, you got to figure it out by yourself. You got to figure it out by yourself. Let's just say right now it's just a little confusing. It's BS that is confusing. It drives people crazy. I mean, I tried to put that song back on the vid that I made with the fan vid I made with it back on there today. A fan vid I made two years ago back on there today with that song, thinking to myself, well, if I found one fan vid that was online with that's online with the song on there playing, maybe there's hope. But guess what? I get the signal that it's disabled. I know I may not be making any sense by now, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm saying. I mean, it's complete BS. It's complete bullshit. That this is not working. That certain artists who are signed to record labels and music labels that are associated with certain uploading sites, can't even have songs that, even though they sing them for soundtracks that are published by record and music labels that are not associated, can't even have their songs published on it. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy unless you have that song on your album, which is released and published by the record label and music label that's associated with uploading site. I mean, it's just confusing and it's bullshit. That's all it is. And that's what I feel is bullshit. Now, I don't know if James has ever done anything on this yet, but James, Angry Video Game Nerd, if you can hear me, if you can hear anybody that's talked about this, do one. I guarantee you've probably faced the same issues, but do one. And that's all I have to say. You got any comments? Let me know.